Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm showing you my FB07 Janemba list. So this is a leader that I really love. It's kind of a pet deck of mine. I ended up topping a Star Regional with this a few months back in Yellow Vegeta format. This list is very similar to that list, and if you want to check that out, you can go see the TheWorstDuelist channel. But yeah, this is more of an aggro slant on the deck. Just because Yellow really can't outgrind the decks like Sin and Piccolo that popped up recently that are just so good in the late game. So we're playing more of an aggro list to cheese those grindy decks, while also being able to pivot into a more control style if we need to against decks with very low ceilings. So let's talk about the leader first. He's normal on the front side. On the back side, restand 2 energy when he swings, and then you can pay 2 to draw a card and rest a card in your opponent's field. So this leader is strong because he is so versatile. You can either use the energy or you can get the leader draw if you need it. You can kind of choose depending on the situation. So you can play just like a normal vanilla leader, or you can play with 2 extra energy depending on like what the board state is looking like. And of course, having access to rests constantly is really nice. This deck is really good at awake installing. But yeah, that's the leader. Let's take a look at the cards. So first of all, we're playing 6 cantrips. Pretty standard, just curve filler. You can also pop these with the Majin Buu Evil, so they're usually good to have in rotation. After that, we're playing 4 of the Frieza. One of the big weaknesses of this deck, and this has been a problem like since I started building it back in the day, there's like no good 10Ks. This deck has no archetype cards really, so you're playing all generic yellow staples. There aren't many good generic yellow 10Ks. There's like 2 good ones which we are running. Just being able to rest a guy is nice. It isn't amazing this deck because we already have a rest built into the leader, but it is just 10k and it comes up in the early game. So running that. 3 copies of Naze. We just need 2 cost off Awakeners. This deck needs to awaken by turn 3, especially in this meta. If you're not awakened by turn 3, you're just so far behind. You really get the most value out of that energy on the first turn you awaken, and as the game goes on, that energy gets worse and worse. So you want to get full value out of that on turns 3 and 4. So Naze, 10k, Awakener, pretty self-explanatory. Playing 4 copies of Jace. So this is a big change in the deck. We used to play Zangia, which if you're unfamiliar with that card, it's a 20k life taker. When it swings, you pay 1, draw 2, discard. So that was very good in the Yellow Vegeta meta, where games would go really long. If you found that in the late game, you could just get free cards off of it and a swing. Not as good anymore. We really need cards that get value immediately. I think Jace is just a better card in this meta. And also Crit is just so good against decks like Sin and Piccolo that want to get to the grind game. They really have trouble stabilizing with low cards in hand, and just sticking a bunch of Jaces every turn is pretty good. I think this is definitely the best 2-drop Self Awakener in yellow in this format. And then moving on to the 3 costs, we were playing 4 copies of Janemba. I was running 3 of this in former lists. I was coping. Don't listen to me. You should run 4 of this card. It's really, really good in Janemba. The big wombo combo is on 3, you can play this, awaken, restand energy, swing with lead, restand again, and you basically get 6 energy on turn 3, which is really nice. Also just rests the guy, so it's great because you're awakening and then you're also awakening solving your opponent at the same time. Just a good card, especially in this deck. 4 copies of Majin Buu Evil. So we are playing a small Bulma engine as a spoiler. We'll go over that later, but this is great with Bulma because you can tap the Bulma, get the value off of it, then pop it and draw and discard from your opponent. That is the main combo of this deck and what we're really building around to like supplement our leader not drawing. This is a great card though. Not as good this meta because, you know, Cell is running the stupid extra, but it's still a good card, and against rogue decks, this card is absolutely shreds. Like, you drop this against black or yellow, how are they dealing with this? It's just going to stick on the field forever. Moving on to 4 drops. Goku, it's a 10k, comes out sometimes. We just need 10ks, right? So we're running 4 of this. 2 Frieza. This used to be the build around of the deck. It used to be that you would just stick a Frieza on turn 4, every turn remove something, defend with results. You'd go to like turn 8 or 9, and you just keep swinging 30, removing guys, getting value. Nowadays, it's not as good. This card is really slow. Like, the turn you play it, it's kind of bad. It gets value over the course of a long game, but it is leaving you open, right? If you tap out for this and you have no results online, that you're going to be taking a lot of swings, taking a lot of cards out of your hand. So it's hard to find time for this card, but in the matchups where it's good, it's really good. So we're still running it at 2. It's not a bad card at all. Then this card is actually a new FB07 inclusion, Meta Cooler. This is a god card for the deck. Even though we aren't getting archetype cards anytime soon, it is nice that we get these good generic yellow staples we can just throw in. So yeah, this card is just the best for this deck. Freezes a guy, restands an energy, 25 swing. The cool thing about this card is on turn 4, you can go play Meta Cooler, restand energy, swing with lead, restand 2, play Janemba, restand a 4th energy, and you've basically gotten 8 energy worth of value on turn 4. So this card is super cool. It's super cool that you can do stuff like that. And it also just saves you energy because instead of removing stuff, you can just freeze it and also get a swing in. It's a good card. It's solid. Not much pressure. You know, it's only 25 swing, but I think it's still very good in this deck. We're playing a few one-ofs here. One copy of Golden Frieza. This card is just good in very specific situations. If you're going second against Cell and you interrupt their curve with this card, you can put them off the chain for a whole turn, and that's really good. Against Piccolo, you can drop this on 8s to keep them off of their Beaston, or drop it on 7 to keep them off of their promo. So either way, this card's getting a ton of value. It's a solid one-off. Decent tech card. Also running one copy of Vegeta Mini. This is basically our finisher for the deck. We were running Majin Buu Double Striker as our finisher in previous versions of the list, but I just think Double Strikers are not very good right now in this format. Against most of the best decks, it's just not great having a Double Striker. This card just provides more value and more utility, having 2 swings, and also being able to pop a card if you need to. So a pretty solid card. And then we have the extra package. So I've been running this in Janemba for a very long time. I think it is super cracked. Bulma basically lets you create this extra toolbox where you can play extras defensively or offensively, or for removal, that you can grab them back as you need them throughout the game. And of course, you can pop the rested Bulma with the Majin Buu Evil to get a ton of value off of that. So all these extras can be recycled. We're running Fierce Hyper Beam. We just want to find one of this card. You can honestly just cycle it early for nothing, just to have it in the drop, so when you need it, you can grab it back with Bulma. Very good card. Results is definitely the best card in the deck. This is your defense and your offense. It's pretty much everything. You ideally want to keep an energy open most turns with the results in hand, because it just gets you out of 30 swings for free. Gets you out of 40 swings as well. You can go 1 results, 1 10k, and that's out of a 40 swing for only 1 card, which is super strong. And it's recurable, right? So you have up to 7 of these over the course of the game with your Bulmas. So this card just gets so much value, and of course on your hand dumps as well, it's going to get a ton of combo on a deck that usually keeps a pretty small hand size. One copy of Dazzling Onslaught. This is a tech that Alex put me on. It's pretty good in this deck, actually. This card plus results is 40k of combo for 2 energy. So pretty solid. And you can use it defensively and then grab it back with the Bulma. So you can play this, play results, block for 40k, and then play a Bulma, grab this back, and swing, and you get 25k on the next swing you do. So this is just a really solid card all around. Definitely a good toolbox option for Bulma. And finally, we are playing 2 copies of Earth Erased. So this card is replacing Final Explosion in the deck. Final Explosion is just kind of mid in this format. But this card's pretty good. If you miss on your Self-Awakeners, this can do that for you. But it's also just removal, right? KO's a 5 or less, and you can recur it with Bulma. So you get one of these in rotation, and you just have it the entire game when you need it. A very solid removal card. So yeah, that's the list. I have a few games to show you guys today. One against a Rogue deck, and then one against Piccolo, one against Cell for the meta games. Let's get into it. So our first game today is up against Goku GT. This is a very interesting matchup. We definitely struggle against Gogeta, because that obviously turns off our leader's entire gimmick. But if we can get our Goku opponent down in life fast, it isn't too bad. And again, this is another situation where the aggro definitely helps, because we aren't really playing Blue Power Awakening, so we can't deal with Gogeta at all. We can just freeze it. We're going to go for the Jace here. Not going to swing with it, because we do want to force our opponent to awaken us, right? We want to awaken by turn 3, absolutely, every single time. So forcing our opponent to swing into our face is pretty good here. He's going to go for a cantrip, and fires the Kamehameha on the Jace. That is good news for us, because now we can assume he doesn't have another one, and we can play really heavy into Kamehameha on this turn, which is what we want to be doing. We're going to go for the Janemba here, rest his guy, awaken, go 20 into face. And again, we can get a bit greedy here and actually play the Majin Buu Evil, which is super nice. Typically, I wouldn't do this against black, but I mean, he just doesn't have it. He already played one, right? We're going to keep it standing, and our opponent's going to charge to 4. They'll swing 20, we'll block out. Goku GT is coming down here, but he's still ways off from Gogeta, so we are in a good position. He's going to go 30, we'll just take it, and he'll draw a card. And we have a lot of gas in the field right now. That Earth Erased is coming in clutch here. This is another situation where Earth Erased is just better than Final Explosion. I think in this meta, there's so many matchups where this card is just the better choice. We're going to start swinging face here. We will actually swing with the Majin Buu now. 25, he'll block out. And we can just get some value here. Draw some cards with Majin Buu. Draw a card with lead. And we're good to go. Keeping 1 energy up for results so we can block out of a Gogeta next turn. Or not a Gogeta, Son Goku GT. He's going to swing face, we will block out, and luckily we do have the energy up, so we can just easily block out of this Goku. He does buff it, unfortunately, but we do have results, so we can easily block out of that. Oh, he goes for the, I forget he goes for the Majin Buu there. Yeah, that's a questionable play, but I kind of get it. You got to get rid of that Majin Buu. I guess a pair of Para Brothers to lock it down, and that's really good for us because now he's off curve and he can't play Gogeta next turn, so we are right where we want to be. The Dynamo Vegeta comes in clutch here, letting us get the KO and get 230 swings, and at this point the game is pretty much over. We are just so far ahead, and we have the Majin Buu online for like 3 turns. If the Majin Buu sticks for more than 1 turn, you're feeling pretty good. Yeah, and 2 results at the top is ridiculous. So he finally recurs the Kamehameha with the Hercules, but it's a bit too late now. We've already gotten so much value off of the Majin Buu. Oh, he doesn't even fire the Kamehameha. That is pretty dire. I guess you do have to lock down that Vegeta. We're going to fire the Vegeta here, KO a guy. He's locked down, but we can still do that, right? I love this play. I love getting value off of like a 1-drop, swinging into something that's rested and then KOing it. It's so much card advantage off of 1 card. We're going to swing 20 to his face. He's going to block, and at this point, he's just so starved of resources that we really can't lose the game. And yeah, I mean, he's cooked. What are you going to do? So yeah, that is this deck against Goku GT. Pretty free. Let's go ahead and check out the metagames. First, we'll be playing against a Piccolo. Piccolo, and this is really going to showcase this deck's aggro potential, especially into decks that don't do very much in the early game. So we're going to start with just a Jace here. Importantly, not swinging with the Jace again. We want to make sure that we are being awakened by our opponent by turn 3, especially against Piccolo, where every turn counts. Honestly, I think Piccolo probably shouldn't have swung here. It's probably correct to just leave us on 5 next turn, so we can't cheat. But we do manage to get there. And this is pretty disgusting. We have a Janemba off life, so now we can go swing, restand 2, Janemba, restand 1, and we get 6 mana worth of value on turn 3, which is like so debilitating for Piccolo. We're going to take a life with this Janemba here, just trying to keep advantage up, and we'll swing into the cantrip and swing face. So Piccolo's awakened, and they're really in a tough position here, going to only 4 and already at 4 life. Gonna go for the Son Gohan here to ramp 2, but they're way off of Beast Taunt, which is good for us. And we're gonna try and protect board here. We have a turn here to just do whatever we want. Gonna go 20 with the Jace. Play the Earth Erase, take out the Gohan. A little missequencing there. I should have killed the Gohan first so we can't redirect. But I mean, it ended up working out for us, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I do make a few misplays in this game, and I'll point them out as they happen. Janemba in face. And we will go for the Buu. I figure he's probably going to pop this with the 5-drop next turn, but I might as well go for it. If he doesn't have the 5-drop, we're just in a great position, but he doesn't end up having it, unfortunately. And that's really bad because now our Jaces are not swinging neutral anymore, but we're still in a good spot with how big our board is. I'm going to go 30 into the Jace. We will give him a result to keep that alive, and it's our turn now. So we'll go for the draw, start swinging face with the Jaces, and what happens here, I see that he has 1 5-drop in energy, 1 on field, and 1 in drop. So I'm thinking he probably doesn't have another one sitting in hand. And I'm imagining he probably has the promo waiting. He probably has the promo just rotting in his hand, waiting for turn 7. So I go for the Golden Frieza to put him off curve. So now he can't play the promo, and we can just keep our entire board for next turn, which is super disgusting, honestly. And doing that on turn 8 is also good because you can keep him off Beast Taunt. This card is just so good against Piccolo. Making them wait another turn to do their bullshit is super nice. We'll go 20, bump it to 45 crit. He doesn't Restoring Blow, unfortunately, so we'll be able to get out of that pretty easily. But at this point, lethal seems pretty much guaranteed. We're going to go for Janemba here, take the life, go 25, he'll block out. We'll go 20, go back to 5 energy. He will take it. I don't take life with Jace here. I probably should have. That was a misplay. But we go for the Bulma, swing 20, 45 crit again, and that's going to be game. So yeah, pretty good Piccolo matchup. Next up, we'll be showing the Cell game. I will say, the Cell matchup's probably not that great. I do win the Cell game, but I mean, just keep your expectations tempered. This deck cannot beat Cell too consistently, but it is a fine matchup. So final game's up against Cell, of course. Not a great matchup, but we do get there in this game, which is nice. But this is just to say that you kind of need a high roll Cell if you want to win. And you see here, we get really lucky that we do find the Jace at the top. And throughout this game, I have been throughout this video, I have been not swinging with Jace, but I think against Cell it is correct to just swing immediately, because Cell wants to get you to low life really early, so they're probably just going to swing face anyway. He ends up doing that, which is good for us. Goes for 17 and passes. We're going to go for Janemba here, and this is perfect curve. It's super nice. Another reason why I like Jace in this format is because the crits are so good against Cell. Especially if you can get, like, end up getting 3 crit swings here. So that is 3 cards less that Cell has in their hand going into their Awakened turn, which is so huge in this matchup. We're going to go 25, and he will block out. And this is a pretty good board for us. He's off the Cell chain, and we have 3 bodies on field. Going to go for the 16, and sack it away. Grab an 18, and go 40 into 20. So manages to clear some of our board, but not all of it. We still have a pretty strong presence. We're going to go for the Meta Cooler here. And I think I get to show off the Wombo combo here, right? Because we got Janemba in hand. I might not go for it, though. I think I might just draw here instead. Yeah, we just draw. Janemba dry isn't that good against Cell, so I think that's probably correct. He's going to go for a cantrip. He's finally on the Cell chain, but you can see that, like, having such good rest access means that we can basically delay him from the Cell chain for, like, at least till turn 5. If we can draw Golden Freeze, though, we can do till turn 6, which is pretty nice. But we didn't see that this game. Anyway, he's going to do his Cell bullshit, take out the entire board. Really do not like this deck. I really hope we can stop playing against Cell in these videos. Hopefully he gets banned soon. But Bandai has not pulled the trigger on that yet. We're going to go for Frieza here, which is kind of greedy. Again, Frieza is super slow, but I feel like it's worth it to get rid of those 5-drops, and we keep an energy open for results, right? So we are kind of safe going into next turn. He's going to go for the Android, just doing the chain again, swinging into the Frieza. I think that's probably incorrect. He probably just should go face here, but it works out for us. We'll take it. Goes 30 in, we'll give him 5, and 40 in lines up perfectly for our results. Now that Frieza has stuck and we didn't get punished for it too bad, it's just ridiculous because it's so much value every turn. We don't go for it this turn though, we just go for the Hyper Beam instead. Want to try and kill him next turn ideally, so there's no reason to spend too much energy outing the 5-drop. We go 25 face, 20 at face, and we're kind of out of resources here, so we try and draw a card, and it's results. That's pretty good. That's a good draw. You can see what I mean though, if we hadn't gotten results there, this matchup is, that would have been pretty bad. But we did kind of high roll the Cell here a bit. He's going to go for the chain again. Surprise, surprise. And we're honestly fine blocking out a 40 because we do have the results. That is the nice thing about this matchup. You can block out a 40 pretty easily compared to most decks. Self-destruct comes down here, taking down our... I forget what he just popped there. Wasn't important. Oh, the Meta Cooler. Right, yeah. And he's going to try and go for a game here, thinking he's probably dead next turn. He probably is. Going to go 15 in. We'll block out 40. We'll take it. And I'm not scared of this hand up because we have like 100,000 combo in hand. So yeah, that's the Cell game. So in conclusion, this deck is real. I think people are sleeping on this deck. I think it is probably rogued here. I mean, you saw in this video that we have decent game into most of the meta decks. The deck still does struggle though. It definitely has some pretty huge weaknesses. This deck was very good in Yellow Vegeta format because you could kind of do what Yellow Vegeta was doing but better, especially with the extra package and the resting. And, you know, being able to stick Friezas every turn. But nowadays, I think it's a lot worse. This deck really struggles into Boo for the same reason that Yellow Vegeta struggles into Boo, right? I mean, freezing your energy is pretty rough. I think the deck has some good matchups, has some bad matchups. Definitely struggles to finish off games. It didn't really matter that much in those games, but this deck is really lacking a really solid finisher, especially with Double Strikers being so bad in this format. I think the deck is fine. I definitely think that if we got some Archetype cards, this would become a tiered threat, but until then, this will just be a pretty decent shell for yellow good stuff. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.